nothing but the dog in me. Why must I chase the cat?
Good evening and welcome to Posse Presents. Starting off, I've got my Cecil shirt on. Came up in my Facebook memories today that it was on July 4th and July 1st, I'm all right. I guess, probably like 2 years ago now, when Cecil the lion was drawn off of protected property and shot and killed for sport. A lot of people still remember that. I know that the guy who did it faced a lot of humiliation and hard times, and good for him, because that was a really, really awful thing. There's still posts about Cecil's family on the page that was following his story. So his legacy lives on. But I thought today was a very appropriate day. I haven't worn this shirt in a while. And so, here we are wearing my Cecil shirt. Anyway, this is that time of year, now that we're in July, and traditionally it's been a little earlier than now, where I'll do birthday dogs and have Kristen and Leo come in and, we make a big deal about it. I'm still on the fence about that. Birthday dogs, for those of you who don't know, are dogs that I kind of like hand pick, and all I want for my birthday is for them to go home. I'm wondering if that's just had its time, because it's been a little harder and harder to get the end result. So I've got time, and we're just going to play that by ear and see how it goes. Even though I've usually started the campaign earlier than now, like I said, there's still time, and whether I do it now or 3 weeks from now or 2 weeks from now or whatever the case may be, the sentiment will still be the same. So we'll hold that thought and see what happens. Anyway, a little sad news for me this week. My little Gidget, who is going to be 12 on Tuesday. She's I picked the 4th of July for her birthday because, she's my little firecracker. She may be in kidney failure. We've got to do some more testing, but I see it. Unfortunately, I've known something was going on and, couldn't put my finger on it. And so we did a urinalysis this week, and sure enough, doesn't look too good. The blood work will just confirm the vet's suspicions if that's the case. But like I said, I kind of see it, and unfortunately it's a path that I've been down before. A number of years ago, my little Kelly went out the same way, and it's definitely, it's a path, and it really stinks to have to look the mortality of a beloved pet in the eye. It's a stare down for sure. And I'm angry. I'm devastated, and I'm angry, and it's bad enough she has a grade 4 heart murmur, but now we're talking like things are going to get really serious. And one of the things that I'm really angry about is that I feel like the last time they did a urinalysis in October, they should have seen that the values were similar, the ones that the vet had pointed out that he was concerned about. So, because I requested copies of both reports so I could compare them. And, not that you can really change much, but 9 months ago I could have known and felt like I was doing something anyway. So, I'm angry on a lot of fronts. So please keep Gidget in your prayers. She's my little last holdout. She was, the one who, I've had her since she was 8 months old. She lived with the boys. She lost the boys with me. She's, certainly been grieving with me. And, right now she's the dog I've had the longest. So you all know how that feels if you're animal lovers, and, it really stinks. So please, by all means, keep her in your prayers. Anyway, any dog that gets lost is definitely a 911. And when it's someone you know, it's more personal, you know. Unfortunately, one of our own, so to speak, is missing a dog. Now let's get the poster up if we can. This guy has been missing since June 27th. His name is Foxy, and he belongs with Candace Bouchard, who does so much for others, and now she needs our help. Candace does husky rescue. She's done so much for Desmond's Army and Desmond's Law, and so much more. She's just a great person. You know, a few years ago, she came to Waterbury to help look for Rudy when he was lost, and, you know, she was selfless with her time. She's actually the one who tagged me to the post of my little man, who I ended up adopting. And, you know, again, now she needs us. She needs us to be her eyes and ears. She needs us to get Foxy out there in the public eye. And most of all, she needs us to help get him home. So for starters, if you would please go to the Posse Presents Facebook page and share Foxy's poster everywhere. Exposure is critical, and I'm sure if you have time, Candace would appreciate help putting up flyers, because I know they've been putting them up wherever and whenever they can. Clearly you can call her. The number is up there on your screen. Foxy lives in Winstead, but he was last seen in Simsbury. So he's definitely traveling. He's clearly on the move, and he could be anywhere. He's already covered a lot of ground, and he was last seen on June 28th by Route 8 and Route 20, and he could even have crossed into Massachusetts. So if you see Foxy, don't try to be a hero. Please call Candace right away. She's got to be able to respond immediately to any sightings in whatever manner that she can. The number to call is 203-364-6305, 203-364-6305. You know, one of the things they say, it's a good idea with all lost pets to get a picture if you can. Foxy is a male. He's neutered. He was wearing a collar with all his info on it. He's about 60 pounds. He's got 2 different color eyes. And again, 203-364-6305. We can show the other 2 pictures. We can rotate those now. A little closer up picture of his poster picture. And then there's, you know, a look at his face, and you can see he's got the 2 different color eyes. And Candace, I know Zach's like in there making noises. He loves those 2 different color eye kind of dogs. Candace wants everybody to be sure that if you see a dog roaming, that you call an animal control officer or the police department, you know, for any wandering pet. Cats, dogs, doesn't matter. You know, don't just turn a blind eye, especially in the next few days. It's going to be brutal with the fireworks coming. You know, a lot of dogs are going to bolt and run off and be lost. And, you know, it's going to be rough. These animals are going to be lost and afraid, and, you know, taking a picture and posting it on Facebook and saying, you know, hey, I found this dog, but it wouldn't come to me, and then just like getting in your car or going about your business doesn't help anybody. Yeah, it's good to post it on Facebook in case somebody is looking on Facebook, but if you don't get that animal to safety or ensure its safety, you know, by calling an animal control officer or the police department if animal control is closed, then you're doing the animal a huge disservice. You know, you might think, you know, oh, it's going to go home, or, you know, maybe it's not lost. It's a lot safer for the animal to be picked up and held safely in the pound. And, you know, like, yeah, I get it. A lot of people, I don't want the animal to go to the pound. But you know what? The pound is better than dead. If the owner is going to be contacted, if, that dog can be taken off the street or that cat can be taken off the street. It's a bonus, if it comes to you, fine, get it. But if not, don't just leave that animal wandering. You could be the bridge between that dog finding its way home, or at least getting to safety, and something terrible happening to it. So by all means, please do your best. And again, please go to the Facebook page, Pound Posse Presents, and you'll see Foxy's pictures and his poster. Share it everywhere. Put it on your Facebook page. If you've got pages that you admin or groups that you belong to, just share it, because we really need to help Candace find Foxy. I know that she's a wreck over this, and I can't say I wouldn't be either. She does so much for so many other people. Now it's time for us to help her. So here's hoping that Foxy will slow down, let himself be seen, and a plan can be put in place to try to get him back to Candace, because that's where he belongs. Anyway, we're going to move on to some adoptables. And first up, we have Kona. And Kona is an absolute love of a girl. She's a real people person, so to speak. But she needs to be an only pet. Unfortunately, that's a niche adoption, as I like to call them. Most people who love animals already have animals. Look at that face. Can you even stand it? But she's very high energy. So they're saying no small children that she can knock over. Because, sometimes these dogs are just a little exuberant, so to say. And, they can unintentionally take out a small one. It happens. Anyway, Kona is about 1.5 years old, and she had a rocky start, but you really wouldn't know it because she's just such a love. She'd do well in a situation where someone was home a good portion of the time, or maybe even worked from home. Oh, there's my phone. If somebody worked from home or was home a lot during the day, Kona's not a crate fan. She would do well as a hiking or jogging buddy. And she's been working with a trainer on basic manners, and she's been doing really well. Unfortunately, Kona is in boarding, and she has been for a while now, and it's just time for her to go home. She really needs to land in a forever home and, get on solid ground, so to speak, and find out what it's like to really be loved forever. So for more info, or if you're interested in adopting Kona, you can email furryfriendsct@yahoo.com. That's furryfriendsct@yahoo.com. Or you can go to their website at www.furryfriendsct.org. I love this picture. Her face is just beautiful, and those eyes are just so soulful. So, if you know someone who's looking for an only pet, if you know someone who has lost an only dog and might be ready, that would be probably perfect. So spread it around. Kona is posted on the Pound Posse Presents Facebook page. Let's get her shared and get her out there and get her home. Next up, we have Marty. And Marty, he looks like a little Kona almost. Marty was an owner surrender. He was part of a family from the time he was 3 months old, but then came a baby who grew into a toddler, and it became very stressful for Marty. So in his best interest, his family decided to rehome him. And, I guess that's a fair thing. It keeps everybody out of harm's way. I'm not going to speak to the idea of, how you raise your kids. But in any case, Marty's now 3 years old. He's very active. He's another one who needs to be an only dog, but he's okay with cats. So that's not always the case. So that's another niche adoption, but it's a bonus that he's good with cats. again, someone who's just lost a dog or is ready for a dog. So it won't matter if you have any kitties in the house, he'll be really good. Definitely no small children for him though, given, you know, the fact that they make him a little nervous. So you'd want to have teens or better. Marty is crate trained, house trained. He walks well on a leash. He knows his basic commands. And unfortunately, he was in a foster home, but his foster home had company coming to, or family rather, coming to stay with them, and they brought their dogs. So Marty had to go into boarding as well. So he's kind of, you know, been a little bounced around. He needs to get into a home as well. It's hard on these guys to be bounced around, but sometimes it just can't be helped. You know, boarding is not the solution, but it certainly keeps an animal safe, and you know, we can't forget about them just because they're in boarding and consider them, you know, taken care of as far as, you know, they're not in any danger with, you know, like with the pounds and stuff. You know, the rescues don't like to have to do it, but if there's no foster homes, this is where it's very important. If, you know, you could foster a dog, you're doing a great service. It keeps them in a home and in the loop of things. Anyway, if you're interested in Marty, you can contact, once again, furryfriendct@yahoo.com, furryfriendct@yahoo.com, or go to www.furryfriendct.org. Next up, we have a dog named Buddy. Buddy's a handsome guy. He's about 4 to 5 years old, and he has spent months in a shelter, months in a foster home, and he's just been consistently overlooked. It's a real shame. He loves walks, he loves the woods, he loves the hiking trails. He's very good on a leash. He'd love an active family. They're saying no cats, and he's dog selective, so they'd prefer just to keep things, you know, to keep him out of trouble, to have him be an only pet. They say he likes fast food, and he's not opposed to a taste of ice cream. And there you go, you know, a milkshake, an ice cream. It's all the same to Buddy. He likes them all. And he's a really great dog that someone's just missing out on. And it's really sad that so many of these dogs have so much potential, and, you know, people are missing out. Most of all, the dogs are missing out. Buddy is a bit of a long distance situation. He's located in Northeast Ohio, and he's with a rescue called Paws and Prayers, and you can contact Jennifer at pawsandprayers.org. Once again, that's Jennifer at pawsandprayers.org. Now, you know, I'll take the camera back for a hot second. I show these dogs sometimes that are a little farther away. I know that there's people, not necessarily in this immediate Waterbury area, that do watch the show. And everybody knows somebody somewhere. And so sharing these animals is so important because you never know who's going to see them. So you can actually share Buddy off of the Pow and Posse Presents Facebook page as well. All 3 of those dogs are put up there. You know, and if you're really interested in an animal, there's transport, and it's a very manageable thing to be able to transport an animal safely. There's, you know, some better situations than others, but, you know, an animal can mostly be transported anywhere as long as the rescue is willing to do it. I mean, I do know some rescues will not just haphazardly ship a dog here, there, and everywhere. But, you know, if an adopter is willing, I've seen it, just to go out there and drive and meet the dog, and if it all works out, take them home. I see that happen all the time. Love should not know any zip codes or state boundaries or anything like that. So never rule anything out, because, you know, if you're serious and if it's true love, then, you know, you can make it happen. It always finds a way. Anyway, I'm going to talk about some events. Sunday, July 9th, For the Love of Jack is having a bake sale, and the picture that they have up on the event is pretty cool. Let's show that, Zach. That kind of cracks me up. I'm sorry. I'm a little twisted like that. But anyway, For the Love of Jack is a wonderful organization that I've talked about before. And one of these days, Sherry, I hope you're watching this, you get your butt on the show and stop just talking about it. But anyway, they help sick, injured, abused animals with vet bills, and they're really a great organization that does their best to help situations where the animals really need it. And we need more situations, we need more groups like that. Anyway, this bake sale is from 8 a.m. to noon outside the Stop and Shop on Torringford Street in Torrington. And if you can show your support for the love of Jack, I know that Sherry would much appreciate it. Again, she does so much to help others, and it's a good thing always to be able to show support for the organizations that do so much. Next up, we have Hudson the Railroad Puppy's Huddy's Buddies Paw Jam, featuring Taylor Lynn, who is Loretta Lynn's granddaughter, and she will be performing, and that'll be pretty cool. That's Saturday, July 15th, from noon until 7, and it's really shaping up. If you're part of the event, there is an event for this on Facebook. Hudson's dad, Rich, is posting all of the people who are going to be there, all of the vendors. And there's a pretty amazing list of rescues and vendors and just, all around awesome things that are going to be happening there. And I can tell you that I'm planning to go. And yeah, I always plan things, but I'm planning to go. And you'll be able to see Sweet Pea, Friends of Rutland Animals there, and Juno will be there. And it'll be a really cool day. It's a bit of a drive. It's at Country Acres Farm and Pet Center, that's on Saratoga Road in Burnt Hills, New York. It's a rain or shine event, and the proceeds will go to help other animals who need prosthetics, wheels, and other devices. So that'll be a really nice day. And if we can all make it, that's great. Again, I know that people watch the show from different places, so we definitely come further or closer or whatever. It's all doable, and these events are really wonderful ways. I'll take the camera back. They're really wonderful ways to get to meet the people that you know on Facebook, the pages that you follow. And it's really a lot of fun. And I have to make a promise to myself to get out to more of these, because, I go home and I don't like to leave my house, and it's a whole big terrible thing. But, even the last event that I was going to go to, it was just way too hot. And that was the Jameson's Jubilee, and I felt really bad. But, 90-something degrees and humid, my asthma isn't going to really do too well, and I've got to be careful too. But there's other events coming up down the line, including the Bikers Against Animal Cruelty 10th Annual Rally, which is going to be a lot of fun. And then there's also Bow Wow Bark in the Park in September, which is going to be amazing this year. Alexandria is really doing a fabulous job putting this together. And I've had some fun doing some things behind the scenes, and there's really going to be a lot of great people attending that as well, again, including Juno's Place and Sweet Pea Friends of Rutland Animals. The Little Oliver Foundation is going to be at the Bikers event, and the Bow Wow Bark in the Park. You saw them on the show a couple of weeks ago. Hudson the Railroad Puppy himself is going to be there. It's going to be a lot of really great. For the Love of Jack is going to be there. Pet Playhouse is going to be there. There's just going to be a whole big happy family for me anyway. Bikers Against Animal Cruelty is going to be there. Those are the things where it's a lot of fun to hang out with the people that you like to hang out with. After that is the Pet Rock Festival, and that's going to be the Sunday after Bow Wow Bark in the Park. And I'll talk more about those events going down the line here. Let's get a look at the adoptables one more time, Zach. Oh, well, that's Foxy. That's okay. We can talk about Foxy again too, but here we've got Kona and Marty and Buddy, and they are up on the Pound Posse Presents Facebook page. Please share them far and wide, and let's get them home. Let us put the poster up again, because I'm going to put you through your paces. This is Foxy. As I said, he's lost, and he belongs to someone who has done so much for other people. Candace Bouchard is just a gem. She, like I said, she just is amazing, and she helps everybody when she can. Now it's time for us to help her. Got to keep your eyes and ears open. Please share him far and wide. If you have any sightings, please call immediately so that she knows exactly where he is in that moment and can try to get someone with their feet on the ground in that area. And it's all on the Pound Posse Presents Facebook page. If you can do anything to help hang posters, I know she'd appreciate that greatly. He's already been seen 20 miles away from where he went missing, so he really is covering a lot of ground, and you know, he could be anywhere. Please keep in mind that if you find an animal, if an animal does come to you for help, you're not entitled to keep it. It belongs to somebody else. There are laws, and you can, it's illegal to keep a pet if you find it. So please, if you have Foxy and you know you're thinking, hey, wow, he's a really great dog, and you know it's somebody else's loss, no, that's not the way it needs to play out. Candace needs to get Foxy back, just like anybody else who loses an animal needs to get them back. So we're out of time. I'm gonna say peace, love, and dogs. Until next week, have a safe and happy 4th of July. Thank you for watching.